Hey everyone, Prez here. Today I'm going to be making a very quick video on advanced movement in Apex Legends. I feel like this topic's probably been beat to death a little bit, but I was thinking of doing something really short and concise, naming the key things you should know, what's not as necessary, what'll really help you in fights, etc. This video isn't going to go in depth on any of these topics, however I'm going to go over the broad range of ones I personally use. If my lackluster explanations don't really go in enough detail for you and you can't get a hang of it, I recommend you watch some more detailed videos on each individual technique. Counting 4 steps between slide jumps will ensure that you don't dead slide. It's technically 3.5, but if you get the timing wrong, you'll get a dead slide and slow you down overall. If you have an heirloom, most of the heirloom animations end after jumping at the right time for you to slide again. I've personally tested this with Octane and Bangalore's heirloom, however I am led to believe that this works with all of them so far. If you haven't done so already, binding mouse wheel forward to W allows you to tap strafe on mouse and keyboard. I'm aware that some controllers that have a turbo button allow you to do it also on roller, but I have never tried that, so I'll just be focusing on mouse and keyboard for this part. To do this, you're going to want to slide jump, and then depending whether you're going right, you'll press D, or left, you'll press A. You'll want to scroll wheel forward, and also flick the mouse into the direction that you're moving in. Octane, Bangalore, Wraith, Mad Maggie, and Pathfinder are all able to do larger tap strafes because of the speed that they can get from the momentum of whatever ability they have. In this clip, I'm showing that you can do 360 and beyond for tap strafes on Octane, but obviously this can also be applied to the other characters mentioned. You can also use tap strafing to do entire 180s on jump pads. Once you get the timing right, it's the same as doing a regular tap strafe other than when you hit the jump key. So take the jump pad normally, once you're in the air, prepare for when you're going to do your turn, and hit your jump key, scroll, D or A depending on your direction, and flick your mouse all at the same time, and it should look like this. By binding jump to scroll wheel down, you're able to do a couple of movement techniques including B-hopping and super jumps. First one we're going to cover here is the B-hopping. B-hopping can be done to quickly get around corners while healing. I'll show a basic example and then a healing example straight after. Simply apply mouse wheel down while holding A and D depending on which side you're looking, and you'll be able to B-hop. B-hopping is a pretty hard thing to explain. I learned it back in CS years ago, but there are some detailed videos out there that focus simply on that topic alone, so I would suggest that you watch those. For healing, what you're going to want to do is straight after you've slid and jump, start healing, and then continue the B-hop from there, and then you can get around corners and such. Next up is a super jump. Where a lot of people go wrong on super jumps is they don't add a small delay between the use key and jumping. So essentially by pressing E, and then shortly after scrolling down to jump, you will get a super jump on the zipline. Once you get good at these, you can then use this on vertical ziplines to be able to get up quicker. Simply apply the super jump on a zipline that you're trying to go up, and turn back around full 180 and grab it again. If you do this right, you'll end up a lot higher up and you'll go up the zipline slightly faster than you would have before. This can also be done on horizontal ziplines. Experienced Pathy mains use this a lot with their ultimate. It gets you the same height as the vertical one, but it allows you to jump onto things like the top of the zip, for example, in this case. If you apply the scroll forward and hold A and D depending on which direction you're going, you can use a super jump to then quickly turn around and climb things like you can see here. Next up is wall jumps. To successfully complete a wall jump, simply slide jump towards a wall. Once you hit the surface of the wall, you want to time it right and hit spacebar or scroll down as we had for our B-hopping and our super jumps. I do recommend using scroll down because the window for error is a bit bigger. However, if you feel more comfortable using spacebar, plenty of people do it that way too. As you can see in this clip, you can do them in succession. It doesn't even matter if it's a dead slide, you just won't get quite as much range out of the jump. The following is also a clip of doing it with Octane. As you can see, he does everything quicker. It's faster. You can also use a tap strafe into a wall bounce and then back out of it, as you can see here. And last but not least is Superglides. A lot of people claim that they do this by pressing space and C at the same time at the peak of the climb. However, majority of the time people are using an auto exec to make this a bit easier. Now pressing C and space at the same time is possible, but by no means am I consistent at it, and I've been practicing for a while. I'm going to link the video to the auto exec in the description below. That video shows everything you need to add to your config files and also basically how to do it. The only proper change I have between the video and my one is that I have spacebar bound instead of caps lock. But essentially what you're going to want to do is hold shift to run, space or whatever key you have bound to climb, and then scroll wheel down at the very top of the jump. Now you still have to time this right. There is a bigger window of error, but not much, so you will have to practice this a bit, but I've got quite consistent now. You can also do a strafing super glide by using A or D, and it will launch you in either of those directions. So yeah, that basically wraps up the stuff that I personally use in game. I'm going to leave you now with a few clips that combine a few of these different techniques, as well as one at the end where you can use Wraith's Q and Ultimate at the same time to just hit a massive super glide and go real far, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments whether I should do anything else like this. I know this wasn't super in depth, but that wasn't really the plan of the video. It was more just to say everything I personally do and give you the basic information on how it works, kind of how to do it, and then if you need more, there's definitely stuff out there. So yeah, make sure to check out my other content. I'm uploading a bit more frequently now, so hopefully I get a couple more clips videos out soon. But other than that, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.
What is it? Oh, that's the corrupt fungus. It makes it so when you sprint, you heal.
Is it good?